Hey, it's Ashley Alban. So, you may already know that I am an independent porn producer. This means that I film, act in, edit, upload, market pornographic videos all by myself. And since I've been doing this, I receive comments every so often asking why I don't do mainstream porn or suggesting that I should do mainstream porn because I would make dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. And honestly, these comments are really irritating to me because the underlying implication is that you are assuming that I am dumb. That for being in this industry for over 3 years, I somehow don't know that there are large porn production companies that I could work for. Or that I might know that they exist, but I'm just blindly going through life and I'm not a businesswoman in any sense and can make sound decisions for my future. But I do think things through quite a bit, as you will see in this video. So I thought it might be interesting for you guys to hear a more thought out explanation as to why I don't do mainstream porn, because usually I just say I don't wanna. And I just want to provide this little disclaimer before I start. My reasons are based off of my personal preference and my personal specific goals for the future. And so just because I'm not interested in doing mainstream porn doesn't mean that other people shouldn't be interested in it, nor does it mean that the mainstream porn industry is bad or that people who are working in it are bad. And I'm not saying that at all, okay? I just want to get that out there. This is about me. It's about Ashley Alban's lazy butt not wanting to do mainstream porn. So, there are two main reasons with some sub-reasons as to why I don't want to participate in the mainstream porn industry. One, I don't want to. It's not appealing to me. And two, I don't think it is necessarily the best business decision for me. I will explain. So, for the first reason why I don't want to, the first sub-reason is that it is inconvenient. So, as I said before, I have been working for myself, first webcam modeling and then making my own pornographic videos for over 3 years now, which means that I can do most of my work at home, in my PJs, in front of my computer, eating junk food. And for any of you who are able to work from home, or you might be able to telework on Fridays, you know how nice that is. And I'm sure you're thinking, wow, you're spoiled. And I am. I completely agree. And I encourage all of you to find a job where you can have the freedom to work from home. If that's learning how to code and you could be a freelance programmer or something, I don't know. But it's awesome. I'm going to be honest. It's awesome being able to work from home. But if I wanted to film anything for the mainstream porn industry, I would have to leave my house. One, I would have to go get tested. And if I work regularly, I would have to get tested regularly. And this means that I would have to go to a LabCorp or something. And I'm going to tell you that there is no LabCorp in a 1-block radius of my place, which means that I would have to get in my car and drive somewhere to get tested every so often. So that's one. It's inconvenient. And then two, to actually film, I would also have to go somewhere. Where most porn is filmed, you may wonder? In California. I think some are also filmed in Florida, although I don't know if that's entirely on the level, but definitely in California, which means that I would have to fly. I would have to actually go fly. And let's say that they reimburse all travel expenses or pay for them directly, and it's still a pain in the butt because I have to put my dogs in boarding or find them a babysitter. I have to travel, and I don't have a problem with flying. I'm not afraid of it. I really don't have any qualms against it, but if I am going to travel somewhere, I'd rather do it for fun and go somewhere fun, do something exciting. You know what I'm saying? And you might say, well, Ashley, you're gonna go get that good D or that good P. Isn't that fun? Well, that brings me to my next subpoint. It's not going to be very enjoyable for me, and this is why. Firstly, I like to have an emotional connection with my sexual partner. I do. It really adds to the experience a lot. I recommend it. Don't just have sex with strangers. Seriously. And you know, I have heard of stories where two porn actors have amazing chemistry, and like when they are having sex on set, they are having sex on set, and there are people just watching them do it, and they're going at it and having a good time. And I am sure that I could get to know other actors within the mainstream porn community and create connections, and I might have great chemistry with some of them. Would it happen all the time, though? No, it's just not. It's just not. Like, not everybody has chemistry with everybody. That's just a fact of life. So, more likely than not, I would have to have sex with people that I really have no emotional connection with or really much of an attraction to. And you might think, well, but you're still getting effed, right? So I have talked about this before in a video that I've sold, but I am not super into really large penises. I'm not. I can go into detail the reasons for that in another video perhaps, but I'm just not into it. And the fact of the matter is that men working in porn have above average penis size because they have to. When you think about it, you need to be able to watch the penetration from a variety of angles, and you just can't do that even with an average size penis a lot of the time. And so porn actors have larger penises, and I don't particularly like that. Maybe if all of them had average size penises, I could still have a good time even without an emotional connection, but that's not gonna happen. So we have two strikes there. No emotional connection probably, and penis probably really not gonna do it for me. Okay, and on top of that, when you think about it, how is a porno produced? You have your actors, but then you also have the crew. You have the camera people and just other people standing around watching this happen. You have directors and fluffers and all kinds of other hair and makeup, whatever. And they're there watching. And I know that after you've done it a few times, I'm sure you get used to it and you can just ignore all the other people standing around and just get into it. But for me, it's still, that's like, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Okay. And then this gets to my third subpoint when we start talking about the crew involved in the mainstream porn industry. So let's say a crew is absolutely ideal. They're entirely 100% professional and they're doing their jobs. They're not being rude. They're not doing anything that crosses any boundaries. You know, they're still standing around, like I said before. It's still kind of like weird and awkward to me. But I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard, stories come out of the mainstream porn industry where the crew isn't very professional. And I've heard stories ranging from, you know, random person just grabbing a girl's butt because I guess he thinks he can, ranging to stories about girls who are being assaulted and essentially raped on set. And while I don't know the rate of occurrence for those negative episodes, they do happen. It's not at 0%. They do happen. That's a fact because we've heard stories about it. And I can tell you that my tripod and my camera can never assault me. There's a 0% chance with that. Like, my tripod might fall over and hit me, but you know, it has those 3 legs, it's very stable. Nothing bad is really gonna happen when I'm just filming by myself. But when you have other people involved, you can't make any guarantees. And so to me, it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth doing mainstream porn? If I could be raped on set, or I could just be disrespected, I don't even want to be called a bad name by some random person. So you might say, but Ashley, the money, you make bank. All right, okay. So this leads me to point number 2. I don't think this is necessarily the best business decision for me. So I have never worked in the mainstream porn industry. Quite honestly, like, I have a very limited knowledge about it, and I do not know how much people are paid for scenes. I know different scenes will earn you more money and blah, blah, blah. I don't really know how much money they make. But let's say, hypothetically, they make a lot. They make bank. They make a ton of money. So when I think about it, though, you're going to make a lot of money, but there are all these other negative factors. My time, to me, is valuable, and your time should be valuable as well. So now I have to factor in travel time, time to go get tested, also other things. I'd probably go get wax and get my hair touched up. So we got lots of that time, and then it's not probably going to be very pleasurable for me. It's probably going to be more just like awkward. I'm just going to do my job and get out of there. And then you're also adding in some risk because you're dealing with strangers or people that are not necessarily reliable. I'm just going to be honest, based on stories that I've heard from the industry. So to me, I feel like all that money isn't really worth it to deal with all these additional factors. And on top of that point, I don't know if they're actually making a ton of money. Now this is, again, I don't know how much porn actors and actresses are paid per scene, but okay, I have heard, and I know you've probably heard of as well, of famous porn actresses getting into webcam modeling in their free time. And there are also many porn actresses and actors that have their own websites where they sell their own content. And a lot of them have their own ManyVids page. That's where I sell my videos. They have their own page where they are selling their own content. Now, what you may say, and what I wholeheartedly agree with, is that they are astute business people that are hustling hard to maximize the amount of income that they can make in this industry. I completely agree. They are awesome. They are rocking it. But I also know from personal experience that producing your own videos is not super easy to do. It's incredibly tedious, honestly. Like, I have to spend a lot of time doing like regular annoying office job type stuff in front of the computer, and it's not that much fun. And so when you think about it, somebody who's already in the mainstream porn industry, so they're doing all this traveling and all of this involved with making scenes for whatever companies that they work for, and then in their free time they're producing their own content and editing it and marketing it, leads me to believe they aren't making bank in the mainstream porn industry if they're going to go through all of this additional effort to make money elsewhere. Or they might be making bank, but obviously some of the other reasons that I provided, risk, inconvenience, whatever, makes them feel as though they don't really want to do all their work in the mainstream industry. They want to make money independently by building up their own brand. And there might be even other reasons that I don't know about that is leading them to expend a lot of effort to build up their individual brand and make their own money. So I just really feel like, based on the evidence that I'm showed, it doesn't seem to be worth it to me to make porn for traditional companies. And so I'm sure some of you are still shouting, but Ashley, it's not about the direct profit that you receive from making mainstream pornographic videos. It's about the extra exposure, the whole like snowball effect. Like, you'll start making more money on your own videos. It's about the long-term picture. And you are correct. You are completely correct. If I were to do mainstream porn, it would be purely for marketing, purely for publicity, to help me build up my own brand and for exposure and all of that. However, my personal goals in my life don't really line up with that. You know, I want to go back to school. I want to go to grad school, get a master's, and I just have other plans for the future. So if I'm going to increase my exposure and have more people recognize me and know me, I would prefer for them to know me because of my twerking videos that I have a lot of fun making, or my weird, ridiculous roleplay videos that I have a lot of fun making, or for my YouTube videos like this one that I have a lot of fun making. Not something that, quite honestly, would be more of a headache for me. And so that is my full explanation as to why I don't think the mainstream porn industry is for me, and it is why I make videos by myself and I have a lot of fun doing it. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this. If you have any other questions for me that you would love to hear me answer in a future video, leave comment below, subscribe, like. Again, I don't really know how to end these videos, but I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time.